welcome back to my channel. This is Six Pack Sarah today. I am coming to you with an update on my candle stash. I started talking about them in around Thanksgiving, I believe, and I was gonna try to do better updates, but life got away with me, so I didn't. So right now I'm going to show you what I've used up and what I think about some of them, and then hopefully I'll show you at least what I would like to work on in the next couple months. Well, it's still cold, but we're done with Christmas, but of course, and we're not ready, at least in Wisconsin, we're not ready for spring yet. Well, we might be ready, but the weather isn't ready. Okay, so I have no notes. I'm not sure exactly when I used a lot of these, but alright, I've got peppermint sugar cookie. This is the one that I discovered a couple years ago from Bath & Body Works, and I just really like it, but then they didn't bring it back last year. So this is the type of scent that I'm glad when I overstock something, but then sometimes that carries into things that I shouldn't have overstocked on, but this is something worth getting too much of. So I think I have 2 more candles of that left, but otherwise I can supplement with Mint to be Merry from Scentsy and other candles or other wax things that I've found that smell decent. Okay, we have vanilla balsam. This I got, I believe it was a Bath & Body Works clearance sale like 3 or 4 years ago, and I didn't really need it at the time, but I really liked this cute packaging, and the price was good, so I finally went through it. I did put it in my candle crock, so there's a little bit left at the bottom once we got down there. Normally I don't have too much of sitting, and I just move it over to my crock to melt it fully until I don't smell it anymore, when I just feel like I need to get through the end of it, or I'm just tired of lighting the bottom. Also, this is completely random, but see how weird those wicks are and dusty? I have a room that I'm in called I call it my office, but mostly it's my craft room, but I also store all my wax and stuff in there, and apparently a mouse got in there, so I went into my candles, and anything that didn't have a lid, all the wicks were chewed up. So that was a fun adventure. So I had to clean a bunch of stuff out. We've got traps out. I haven't seen any evidence since, which is good, but that was not fun, and probably the first time in my life I've had a mouse in my house. Ugh. Okay, this lovely candle. I did a pretty good job this fall not buying too many, but one of the candles I purchased was pumpkin apple from Bath & Body Works, and it was either that day or the next day. I was pulling everything out of my bag to show my family my happiness of what I got, and this one tipped and fell on the ground and cracked open. I was so sad, but I was able to peel off all the glass and dispose of that, and take one of my emptied out candle jars that I had already gotten all the wax out of and the wick clips, and I popped that one in and I glued it in. So this was another one the mouse got to. So I burned it about that far, and then I ended up putting it in my candle crock so that I could melt the whole thing without flame. I think it was just the end of the fall, so I wanted to make sure I got through it. And with candles, since you have to babysit them more, actually be home when they're on and around them, sometimes it's hard to find time to burn candles, especially when you've got 6 kids to run after. So it's been handy to have that candle crock to finish up some candles when we're done with them. This is Sugared Snickerdoodle from Bath & Body Works, and I kept this around a couple years just because joy is like my thing always, so everything with joy I want to keep, and I loved this packaging, and I'm so sad I have to just be done with it. I might keep it for a candle crock empty jar to put wax in to melt. I don't know yet, because once it's in the crock you can't see it anyway. But anyway, I like this packaging, and my husband likes this scent more than I do, so we enjoyed it for a few years, but finally made myself finish that off. Okay, we have a sticky situation in this box. We have 2 candles in that box, and one of them totally cracked. I put a candle on top of it gently, and it just cracked. This is a Goose Creek butterscotch and marshmallow cream. I don't remember much about it. I think it was kind of boring. Goose Creek sometimes has good candles for me, and sometimes I don't really smell much except for the flame. So I think that's why. I think I put it in my crock shortly after I got my crock, just to test out the crock, but also the fact that I was not smelling much. I think I liked it better. If I remember right, I liked it better in the crock when there wasn't the flame burning scent covering the wax. So this is a candle from Kohls. I've been trying to get away from buying Kohls candles because they are a little more sooty than the other brands, but they're not too bad. And I can get, usually when I get them now, I wait till I can get them for $4 to $5. So there's that. And now I can put them in the crock. But I've managed to get through quite a few of my stash. But honestly, they have the best jars. They're the thickest and they work best for repurposing. So I bought so many of them, partly just so I could get affordable glass jars to repurpose. So I made a bunch of containers in my house and put labels on them. I've given most of our teachers at our school one that has their teacher name on it. So that's been fun. But anyway, spice roasted chestnut was pretty good, but there was more. It just says fragrance notes of spice, cinnamon, and vanilla, but I got a lot of like smoky roastiness to it, which isn't bad, but I'm not always in the mood for it. So this one took me a couple years to get through, and I just thought it was pretty, and with those notes I thought it was a shoe-in because I love cinnamon. It was worth it, but it wasn't something I'll probably get again. Okay, cinnamon caramel swirl, another mouse chewed one. This one, I was obsessed with it a couple years ago when I first came across it. It smelled a lot like pumpkin cinnamon swirl to me from Scentsy, but then it got too cloying, but not necessarily too sweet. I do like sweet scents. There's just something that kind of was throwing me off. It might be the maple brown sugar or something. I don't know. But I used a couple of these candles, and so by the time I got to this one, I was kind of over the scent, but it's cute. It's a cute packaging. So I used it about halfway before I went ahead and put it in my candle crock, and that worked better, I think, because like it kind of turned into a background scent and it wasn't so cloying. So I don't think I'll buy that in the future, but I'm not sure. Alright, we have campfire marshmallows. So this is Goose Creek, and a few years ago I had gotten this candle. Probably was my favorite Goose Creek candle that I've tried from them. Like I said, just because some of them don't, like, they smell better on cold and then on warm not so much. But this one I liked no matter what. This is the second one I've had of this. The first one I had a few years ago, and it was when my youngest was a baby and my friend was over, and I would burn this when we would chat in the evenings, and I would cuddle my baby, or she would cuddle my baby, and we'd have open windows. It was in August, but it was like 60 degrees out and cool. So that's actually, I prefer this scent in like cool weather and not necessarily winter. But I wanted to use it. But so I really like it, and it smells a lot like Bath and Body Works Marshmallow Fireside, but I actually like this better. But I don't like how they perform as much, so it's hit and miss. But it was nice to have that one back, and then we're done. Tree Farm. This was another end of the season clearance buy, and I just, it's cute packaging, and I generally like tree scents, although this year was not as much as other years. I like this one okay. It took me a couple years to even light it up, just because I was like, it seems a little much, but I like it. It's crisp pine needle, warm cedar, spiced apple, and I think it's the cedar that sometimes can be too much for me, but I do like it in this candle. I think I would only repurchase Tree Farm again if it were clearance like this one was. But we'll see, because I'm trying to keep my candle stash down, just not having to store so much. And if we ever pick up and move, I don't want to have to move as many candles as I currently would have to move. So we'll see what the future brings, but I'm not really planning to buy that one again. 'Tis the season. This is probably, if I had to pick only one candle to get forever, it would be 'Tis the Season. Although Pumpkin Apple is a close second. I just think this packaging is so pretty. I did notice though that when I have colored wax in this scent, I don't like it as much. There's something off about it. But when it's white, then I enjoy it much better. And I enjoyed it more in my candle crock than I enjoy when the actual flame is going. This one I did finish off in my candle crock, but the wicks pretty much stayed where they're supposed to go. So like the other ones I showed you, super far apart, or they're like all off-centered. You don't want to use a candle once you've put it in the crock, because usually the wicks will go way too far to the edge, and that's not safe. Like, I almost wonder, I remember putting this in my crock, but I almost wonder if I didn't. But anyway, so this one's really good. And again, I just wanted to finish it off, so I popped it in my crock to get it over with before I got like super over Christmas scents, because I'm still doing some Christmas, but mostly just like wintry scents for me. Anyway, so these candles I've all finished up. I don't know that I'm going to keep most of the jars this time, but I have in the past, because I have still some left over, and I'm not sure I want to deal with the wax right now. But also, again, like this Bath & Body Works candle is pretty good, but the Tree Farm one is a little bit flimsy, and so I don't want more broken candles. But so that's what I've gotten through, finished up completely since Thanksgiving, more or less. I could have something that I've forgotten about tucked away somewhere else, knowing me. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10 candles, so that's good. And I've got one more to get started in my candle crock. Yeah, Campfire Marshmallows is the one I just took out of there. And have some that are like half used up on my shelf where I'm burning them. So just coming right along. I try to use up at least like 4 a month if I can, just to help get my stash down, so that when I do want to purchase something, I can. But we're going to try to get my stash down from what it's at. I want to cut it like in half, so I have to be really careful not to purchase very much, so that I can get those numbers down. Okay, I think that's all, and hopefully I will be able to come back soon and add on what I'm planning to work on over the next few weeks. I was able to pull out my candles to use, and just to show what I'm planning to use next up in my candle rotation, I like to call it. I did find one that I missed that I finished up. This one was very sad to me, because I tried it when I purchased my candle crock from Bosco's. I grabbed a couple mini candles to see how they were, because it helped to get free shipping, and I was very curious. And the scent of this is kind of like my Smith & Company candle Serial Killer. Very, very much up my alley as far as what I like for cinnamon. Very excited to use it. And as I used it, the wick started traveling. Like, it wasn't really centered to begin with, and then it just started traveling toward the edge. So most of this had to spend its life in my candle crock. And then I couldn't see it. It wasn't cute. I didn't get to watch it go down, and I was very sad. Okay, so I want to show you the candles that I'm using for the next couple months or so. I put them down for 1 month, but a lot of them get carried over to the next month, and I try to bring in new ones. I keep this journal, and it's got all my stuff in it, like anything I write down, I just keep it there. So I have a little section on it that has for candles, and usually I do about 8 options at a time, between whatever I put on my my piano is where I keep most of my candles, and then I try to do one or two in the kitchen, but our new stove isn't as good for putting candles on, so I don't do candles as much out there, but I still have a spot for them. And then in my candle crack, so between the three areas I kind of rotate what I've got going on. Sometimes I do more than one at a time. It just depends on the mood and what candles I've got out. But I pick like one candle for each of my spots on those places, and then I pick like the backup, what I want to use when it's done, because I'm the type of person where if I start running low on something, I panic and either don't want to use it or want to buy 10 more of them, which isn't helpful. Either way you look at it, it's not helpful, but I don't want it to be gone, but I'm not using it. So in order to help myself use them, I put what am I going to use next, so that I'm looking forward to what's coming next, and then I'm more likely to use what I've got out. Sometimes it doesn't work, but for the most part it's helped a lot. I'm going to start with this one. This is a Kohls candle and vanilla peppermint swirl. When I first got one of them and smelled it, I was like, this is amazing, this is my favorite thing ever. Then they were too light. I can't actually smell them very strongly on warm. I smell a lot of that candle burning scent. So this one is my next one that's going in my crock. I try to get it halfway just so I don't have that much wax melted at once, but it depends. I would put a whole candle in there. I just try not to if I don't have to. And then, so once that's done, the plan is to work on this peppermint hot cocoa candle, which I do have one of their wax melts left in this. And I've mentioned before, but sometimes I like peppermint and chocolate scents. Sometimes the chocolate gets a little too much for me. So this one will probably take me a couple winters to get through. Like, I used this much last winter, and then I have not touched it this winter. So we'll see. But number 2 slot is Goose Creek came out with a strawberry shortcake line. They have now discontinued it, but I was able to get a couple, and there's strawberry shortcake and lemon meringue in my collection, which I'm not sold that I need to actually burn them because of that whole thing where if I use it, I don't have it. But I did pick up Cafe au Lait this fall when I was getting some others, and this was my favorite of everything I picked up. When I'm burning it, I don't like it as much. There's, I don't know, something musky kind of comes out, but I really, 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 really like it on cold. So I was able to actually pick up 2 more of them when I saw the collection was going away, and they went on sale, and I had wanted, I don't know, maybe that's when I got the Campfire Marshmallows candle. Anyway, so I've used this a few times. This one's burning faster than some of theirs, almost halfway, not quite. It's been burning pretty cleanly, and the wicks are nicely spaced out. I don't mind thick wicks like this. I think that's why it's burning so fast. I always trim them no matter what. Like, usually I have a little bit of that mushroom thing, but I will trim no matter what. And so once that one's done, then I will hopefully move on to vanilla bean. I got this as like backup, like, oh, I want something not seasonal. I want something very tame. But then I never reach for it because it's not like, oh, I have to get through this because it's fall. I don't know. So anyway, so I thought this would be nice. It's also the type of scent that goes really well. Like if I want to do 2 candles at a time, I can put this on at the same time. But I put this on my rotation after the coffee one because they're kind of similar vibes. Coffee, vanilla. So hopefully I will at least work on that one. Okay, I have quite a few Smith & Co. candles because they take longer. So I've been doing a good job getting through my Kohls, Goose Creek, and Bath & Body Works, but these ones take longer. So right now I'm going to try to work on several of them. I've been working on gingerbread cookies. As far as gingerbread scents go, I prefer Scentsi's Gingerbread Hugs and Ginger Cookie Crunch. This one has more of the, I think it's the molasses that I'm smelling. Like, it's good, but it doesn't always make me super happy. So I am excited to use it, but it takes me longer because I don't want it like 24/7. So I'm not sure if I'm going to finish that one or not, but I pulled out this one to go after it today because this is like my Valentine's Day candle. It's my second time I've had it, so I just lit this today. So you're supposed to light it till it melts fully all around, and I didn't quite get that far, but I had to go to the store, so I stopped. But I really like this one. I won't be sad if I keep it for the next couple of years, but I want to try to burn it a few times each year, no matter what. Welcome Home. Here's one of those ones I've been hoarding. They haven't come out with this one anytime recently, and this was before they redid their jars. So they're very similar, but more round, and these are more square round. It's not exactly like Scentsy's Scentsy Snowberry, but it's very similar, and I love it, and I'm going to be really sad when it's gone. But anyway, I would definitely repurchase Welcome Home if they bring it back, and I'm on their page. I could recommend it potentially for some things, so maybe I'll see it in the future, but we'll see. So after I use this for a little while, and then I probably won't make myself use it up, but we'll see. I'm going to go with Fruit Loops, which this is very similar to any vendor Fruit Loops I've smelled, which isn't a lot, but, or the cereal ones they have. So that's really fun. I think this is the second one I've had of this too, but I just looked and they don't have it right now. So, okay, we have a few more left. This little candle is my next slot. It is from the Pretzel Company, Eastern Standard Provisions, which are rather overpriced, but I used to get really good deals, like half off or buy one get one free or something deals, and they're like frozen pretzels, so you could get like the mall style pretzels but made at home. They're not quite as like buttery gooey, but they taste really good and they bake up really well. Currently they're not worth the price because, you know, eggs are over 10 times what they were a few years ago, type of things you have to prioritize. But last time I ordered pretzels, I had to grab this pretzel I saw. So I've only used it a little bit, but it does smell like, it's pretty similar to like, I haven't tried most fresh baked bread type blends from vendors, but I did try lavender and speckles, and it does remind me a lot of her fresh baked bread or whatever her title is. Anyway, so I wasn't able to get it to pool out fully the first time I used it, and I haven't gone back to it yet. But I'm going to try to use this and not hoard it. Good luck. And then, to reward myself when that's done, I'm going to try another of those tiny candles. So it comes like this, with the wick like centered in the middle. The other one just was really leany or something. I don't know what was going on. So hopefully this one will turn out better. And I do really like what I smell in here. Would potentially reorder this and the cinnamon one in the larger size, but we'll see if this performs at all for me. So that one will be my up next. Then if I manage to get through both of those, I'll do this one next. But if I get too impatient, I'm going to pull it out anyway, because this is one of my favorite, we'll say springtime, but end of winter into spring and even summer. I love Ice Lemon Pound Cake. I don't remember if they brought it back last year, but they have not come out with it yet this year. I just checked. But I love Ice Lemon Pound Cake, and I bought several. Like, there was probably a sale, and I was like, what am I going to get? Well, I'll just get a bunch of Ice Lemon Pound Cake. So I have at least this one left. Maybe one more. This might be my last one. But I'm going to use it because I do love it. And I just love, like, a lemon look like that. It's so pretty. I get really sad when they make a pretty thing and then I don't like it because it's perfumey or something. But this one's perfect. And the wicks are great, centered, and they're on the thick side but not too thick. I prefer the thicker wicks. I find they burn better for me. But either works well for me. So anyway, I'm looking forward to using this one again, but I will be sad when it's gone. And two more to cover. These ones I didn't pull out my backups of, partly because there's so many others I'm going to be working on, and I don't know that I'll get to my backups of these. So I do get some candle holders, both pedestals in this style, and I love to put them in. I have lots of snowflake ones, which are so fun, except for when they cover up the pretty packaging. That's a bummer. But Sugared Lemon Zest by Bath & Body Works. This one I don't love as much as the lemon pound cake. There's I think it's, I don't know which part of it I don't really love, but it's a little more tangy rather than sweet. So it's good, but it's got almost a musk to it. So I like this one, but I think I used one last year, and then I have this one fresh to use. But that'll be nice to use when I'm just ready for lemon. And then the last one I have is holiday cookies from Kohls. This one I've repurchased many, many times. And if I have Kohls cash and I see them on sale, like clearance or whatever, $5, I'll usually buy it. I don't usually burn this one on its own, but I usually put it on at the same time as another scent for kind of to give it, like I would do it with the lemon candle to just kind of give it more of a bakery feel. I mean, it's pretty basic, it's pretty light, but it does add in that element to it. And I thought this frosted jar was really pretty. I put it on my piano, where I keep, basically that's where I get to have decorations. And I've taken down most of my actual Christmas decorations, but I still have like my pine tree stuff up and then snowflake things. And this goes really well with it. There's like a white tree and a dark green tree, and then I put this and it kind of mellows it out. So it's really pretty. So those are my candles that I'm working on for February and into March. I will see if I can make time, now that I'm trying harder to do consistent videos, to come back and just kind of update. This is some of the ones I've gotten through, or how far I've gotten, and if I decide there are any others I'm going to start working on as spring inches closer. But I really like winter and these type of scents, so I'm okay with this. Thank you for watching and spending time with me. I will talk to you later. Bye.